Allie, do you want to mute your line? We can hear your crunching toast.
Sorry. How do I do it?
Go to the kind of the top of the video. Yeah, you got it. Awesome. Enjoy that toast, though. Okay, sweet. We're here. Everyone's here besides Drew, and I don't think he's bowed out of the program, so maybe we'll get him in next. But I want to welcome you. This is our fourth and final call of the Vision and Goals. So I'm excited for this call. It's usually my favorite call. People get to share their visions and their goals, and usually they're excited to share, and they're like excited to they're in this place of possibility and choice, kind of they never thought they'd be. So I'm excited to hear everyone share, and it's another easygoing call. And when we do open up this call, I want to let everyone know that this is a free-for-all call. So if someone shares their vision and you want to pipe in and make a great comment or congratulate them on their vision or whatever it may be, feel free. Don't feel free that you need to be muted, because we're kind of wrapping up, and we went through this program together, and we supported one another. So let's just support each other on this last call. So today's call, I'm quickly going to just kind of recap everything we've kind of went through these first, I guess, 3 calls and kind of over the last 6-8 weeks. If you have any questions about any of the concepts that we've covered, feel free to pipe up or save it for the end, and you can ask a question if you want any clarity or anything like that. And then I'm going to introduce kind of one more concept that you would have watched in the video. It's everything after I am creates, which is I think an awesome concept, and I think it can really kind of change your lens throughout life, and it can change the perception of others. Just learning how to speak in kind of different tone or use different words. So that's kind of it for the call. Then we'll open it up to share your visions. We'll kind of recap. We'll see if there's anything else you need, and if anyone wants to make a declaration, we can do that at the very end as well. So, okay, I'm just going to get into wrapping up the level 1 important concept. So the first thing we kind of dove into was that moment to moment we are responsible for creating our own personal legacy. And we have to understand with every decision, every conversation, every choice we make, we get to actually create our own personal legacy. We're the ones who get to dictate our future, and we're the ones who get to choose where we're going. And there was a piece to that you can either kind of choose to react from the past or respond from the now. And we all have to understand we have a certain inherited legacy from everything that came before us, whether it be our family, our parents. Now it could be your dad. It could be a legacy you received from him. It could be your family. It could be your friends, where you grew up, whatever it may be. We all inherited something, and some of it's good, and some of it, for some of us, it might be negative. So we have that choice. We can either, when we feel that negative, we can either go back there and act a certain way, or we can choose choice and respond from the now. The next piece we kind of talked about was how the body is innately intelligent, and our body can't lie to us, and its way of speaking to us is through body sensations and body triggers. So this is a piece where hopefully we became very aware of our body sensations, and this will help us recover faster. So when we feel our shoulders tense or our jaw clench or whatever it may be, hopefully subconsciously now we can react faster before we make any bad decisions or have any bad conversations or whatever it may be. So, and that kind of goes with up and down spiral and going above and below the line, realizing when you're there. Next, we went through the I Goal You interview process, which for some of us, DM, hopefully you got to have it with your dad, and when we open up, maybe you'll share that with us, because I know that was going to be a tough one for you. But lots of this, for some of us, it made us feel uncomfortable. Some of us loved hearing these upgrades and what people had to say and how we occur for each other. So there was a big piece, and really, hopefully, this would shape how you wrote your vision. If you could understand this is how people see you and they put you on this pedestal, hopefully you can write your vision from that spot, and hopefully you could write that vision from a place of possibilities and choice. And from there, you would have written goals, which are kind of first-person, affirmative, present tense, and they include specifics, which we're going to support your vision to achieve kind of that future you desire and want. So kind of how I opened up call 1 when we started this program, I read you the definition of I Goal You. I'm going to read it again, and hopefully it lands a little bit, and then I'm going to just add a piece to it that I want to kind of talk about. So the definition of I Goal You in this Vision and Goals program: I Goal You is a choice, an act, and a movement. It is a choice to stand for others, an act for unconditional love for others as they live into their vision and goals. It's a movement of like-minded individuals dedicated to designing their chosen futures instead of relating to people based on personalities, likes, dislikes, achievement, and failures. I Goal You shows how to live in a place of possibility, accountability, choice, and fun. So what I kind of take from that, and why I love really teaching this program, it's my third time or second time teaching this program, and it's like I now really recognize that so many times we're evaluated in our past. Every human being is evaluated on their past. It's like, what is your pedigree? What does your resume say? Where did you go to school? Where have you lived? Like, what have you done? All that stuff. And well, it's important, and we must be responsible for inheriting legacy and everything, kind of our failures and accomplishments. But I find that most of us have yet to develop the thought process of where we're going. And that's hopefully what this program is about. And hopefully you guys took that piece out of this program. Because it was us really learning how to support an uninvented future so that we can live into that place of possibility, choice, and endless success. So, and I hope the past 8 weeks helped you take you to that place, or at least helped you start to realize that that place is possible. So that's kind of my recap. So next I'm going to get into that last concept that we're going to cover, and it was the concept that honestly it's one of my favorite concepts of this program. It's super simple, but I think it's super powerful, and it can really change how we occur for others. And the concept is everything after I am creates. And that's kind of what you say to yourself and to others is what you are. We have to realize that we speak our future moment to moment. And if we really listen to the kind of I am of another, they will show you their entire world. So this principle really leads us to the direct understanding that everything comes out of our mouth is creating our life. So if we say I'm tired, our brain is automatically going to activate to become tired. And plus, if we say that to another individual, it's going to really shape their lens for others to see us as tired, or maybe they'll see us as slow-moving or off our game. And it's the exact opposite if you were saying I'm filled with energies. It's going to tell our brain that we are energized, and that's how we're going to occur for people, because now it's going to shape their lens that we're full of energy, we're ready to go, we're on the court, we're on the ball. So the reality is we become what we say. We are what we say. And like moment to moment, we're sharing our world, and we're declaring our life 24/7. And then there's an important piece that this really becomes important when we're working with others, because kind of all we really need to do is listen to someone for several sentences, because whatever they say shows you their world. And their speaking shows you what they believe and what they have faith in or what they believe they can do. And are they a person that responds to circumstances if they have no power over them? Or are they a person that blames? Are they a person that controls? The language that we choose really reveals in such enormous depth of who we are and how we show up. And I don't think most of us realize that. So now with this, what we constantly want to do is catch ourselves when we hear a voice of like mediocrity or mediocrity. And it's like words such as but. But always gives us an indicator that there's something going on. But is a nod, or it could be a no. So when we're speaking and you notice you use words like such as but, or I think I might be able to get this done, or I could see myself maybe someday getting this done, or I'll try to get this done, or I wish, or hope. All of these words kind of limited us to that kind of thing. And as much as I love the word hope, it can be used in ways that kind of keep us from really owning our goals through spoken words. So, but what you need to realize, if you're finding yourself saying something that you didn't really mean and you want to take it back, instead of just talking over or dismissing it, just stop. Take a moment, kind of clear yourself, ground yourself, and say that you would really love to take it a take two. I was working with a leader from our business last week, and he's kind of been through this program. So he's in a great position. He's awesome. He's got a great future of like growth and possibility. And he said to me though, he's like, you know, I'm just not a great team player. And I said, is that really what you want to say, or would you like to take two? And he kind of smiled and he said, I'm learning to become a team player. So there's always the possibility that even the things we say we're not good at, we can become learners in, or we can learn to become great in them. So it's like I'm learning to become a great team player, or I'm learning to become a great friend, or whatever it may be. But and there's also an important piece that we need to remember that the way we speak to ourselves in our own head is also reflected in our outer speech. I say that because many times with this concept, people believe that when you talk about the principle, it's only about the spoken word. It's also about the spoken word inside of our internal mind that we say to ourselves. So, so that's kind of the principle of everything after I am creates, and I think it's going to take them time to kind of change our speech, and it's going to take a conscious effort to catch ourselves when we're speaking this way. But when we can like subconsciously learn to speak this way, it's going to be a place of power and choice, and it's going to really shape our lens and context in the context of others, at the way they look at you. So that's the concept. And then Susan also talked about creating declarations, and this is something that declarations work for some people. They don't work for everyone, but I am declarations are kind of powerful and positive statements or commands of self-talk that kind of describe a desired outcome, which should be repeated many times, and they'll serve as a reminder kind of what's ultimately important for both your long and short-term goals, and it kind of provides you a way to tie in who you are today that fulfills your future goals. So the most effective way to use declarations is to make sure they're repeated, repeat them with intention, conviction, and belief and desire. So I know some people use these when they go to bed. They'll speak their declaration, or every morning when they first wake up, or when they're feeling self-doubt or below the line. So but I just want you to realize 2 of the most powerful words in our language are I am, and for whatever you put after that kind of will shape your reality. So and this kind of ties back to the power of knowing what you want in that circle, and whatever you're feeling, thinking about, and speaking is what you're going to be attracting. So that's the concept for the day, and that's kind of it for my preamble. So now I'd love to open it up, and I'd love to share visions and kind of our goals, and if there's anything else that you want to update us on. Like I know Derek might have his interview with his dad, which would be great to hear about. And whatever it may be, let's share. And whoever wants to start us off, that's great. So
I can go first then.
Awesome, sweet. That was easy.
Yeah, so I had an awesome conversation with my dad. I was,
Great.
I think I was really nervous about it. I was almost more nervous about how he was going to handle it, to be honest, because he hasn't been great at expressing himself. It's just not been a part of his life. He wasn't raised, to be open about his feelings and that kind of thing. So I was almost more nervous about the position I was putting him in, to ask him to be completely honest with me about me. But it was very positive. It was he was very open, and he was awesome. Like it just
Good.
It was just all around great. And we talked about the kind of lineage, if you will, of the men in our family, in our lives, or in our lineage, I guess that's the right word. And the way that men have interacted with one another, like his dad, with his dad, and his dad with him, and him to me, and me to my son.
Yeah.
And we kind of just felt happy that we were in a good place, because we're like changing the direction of our lineage of men in our family, right, and how we interact with one another, and that kind of thing. So it was just all around awesome.
Good.
Got a lot of. I think it also gave him an opportunity to express some things that he's never said to me before about, like I think I mentioned it a couple of years ago. We were not in a good place at all. Like we didn't even talk for probably a year and a half, like at all. So I think this gave him an opportunity to express some things that he hadn't before about that time. So it was very, I guess, therapeutic for both of us.
Very cool.
Yeah, I'm really glad that happened. So, having said that, I guess I'll go into my visions and goals.
Yeah, let's hear your visions.
What I have here, I really, I don't know if I'd say I struggled with this, and I never struggled with the idea of going through the process, but I really struggled with separating myself and my own needs from that of my family.
Yeah.
I think you'll probably see that pop up in what I have here, but I guess I'll start by saying I know that working on myself as a person is the best thing I can do for them, but being a husband and a father, my needs are intertwined with their needs, right? So here's what I've got. I'm going to read it out. I don't know if we're supposed to have written this up or just be talking from the heart, but for me, I typed it up and wanted to read it, just to articulate it better, I guess. So in 10 years from now, I want to have found success with my own business. Being creative on a daily basis truly puts me in a happy place. I've always known that within myself, but through these past few weeks, I've also come to realize how obvious that is to those around me, and how much people that how much the people that care about me want me to pursue that as well. Aside from the creative aspect, it's incredibly challenging, and it continually forces me to grow as a person because I'm constantly outside of my comfort zone, which may sound strange, but for me, that's almost where I'm most comfortable, is in a challenge or in a fight for something, I guess, in a way. Aside from professional goals, I'm going to work towards continually looking inward so I can grow into the man I want to be, both for myself and for everyone else in my life. To me, this means finding true acceptance within myself for who I've become so that I'm operating from a place of inner peace. I've always envisioned myself becoming a person who is full of energy, yet calm, full of wisdom, yet quiet when others are exploring their own challenges, so that I can help them find their own answers in life instead of trying to point out what I think they should do. For me to grow into that person, I want to be, I'm going to continue to use the new skills of identifying if I'm above or below the line in an effort to live in a place where expecting a perfect life is not my goal, but handling life's challenges in a more positive way is. It will allow me to be more supportive of my wife. It will also set a more consistent, calm, and level-headed approach to life for my son as he continues to grow as a person himself. It's hard to describe to somebody who isn't a parent, but nothing brings me more happiness than receiving the love and respect I desire for my wife and my kids. Earning that from them is the strongest motivational factor for being the best version of myself I've ever experienced. So, like I said, it's so hard for me to separate me from them. It's just who I am. I want to become a person who's better at supporting friends, colleagues, and anyone else I cross paths with in their own growth and endeavors in life. And I used to really struggle with how to do that. Like, how do you do that? How do you really support other people? And now I feel like simply allowing others to be themselves will do the trick. And to me, that means understanding that everyone is at a different point in their own life journey, and that place is always changing for them. I can support others by being non-judgmental, listening more than talking, and allowing them to feel like there's nothing wrong with the challenges they're facing, the mistakes they have made, or the desires and or goals they may have for themselves. I have always and will always write music. Playing music is a great outlet for my creative needs, and also as an emotional outlet. I play guitar and sing songs to my little boy on a daily basis. He loves it. He gets up and dances and headbangs to certain songs, and obviously I love that, right? So there's no better feeling than having him applaud the music that I write and play. So I'll always continue with that for myself and for him. My hopes are that he finds a passion for playing music and is able to have that emotional outlet himself throughout his life, but obviously that's his choice to make, right? So I have a bit of a desire to be able to financially free my parents and help give them a little extra freedom in their golden years. I don't necessarily feel any pressure to do that, but it'd be nice. Mm-hmm. Finding success within my own business would certainly facilitate that, so that would kind of be kind of a bonus, I guess, that I would really enjoy giving them that. A few other things that I will need to become more consistent with in order to attain these goals are becoming and remaining more physically fit and maintaining a healthier diet. These things will enable me to stay young and active with my wife and kids, as well as lead me down a better path personally as I grow older. But in general and in conclusion, I want to arrive at a point in my life where my happiness is not dependent on other things or other people. I feel that attaining a state of living above the line is a choice we can make by letting go of the need to control things we simply cannot. So if I can continually spend more time in my life living above the line, I have a sneaking suspicion that all of my wants and desires for myself and those around me will naturally find a way into our lives. So
that's awesome.
It. Yeah.
Very, very well written. That was awesome, man. How did it feel reading it? Have you shared that with anyone yet?
No. I just, honestly, I spent about an hour this morning kind of tweaking it and fine-tuning it and just trying to allow it to flow. I don't know how this is going to sound to you guys, but I've already expressed a little bit that I've been on this journey a little while in some ways for myself. So for me, this is just clarifying how I'm going to get the things that I want in my life and what those things are. So, it's it's setting some goals and creating a vision for how you're going to attain it. And to me, it's been an awesome experience. And um, yeah, I feel good about it. I feel really great about it. I think at a different point in my life, I was chasing certain things, like a financially stable life, or writing and making movies, and so on and so forth, or becoming a GM, those kinds of things. Now I feel like I'm getting to a point of just working on being in a good place within myself in life, and accomplishing that goal will facilitate me achieving all those other goals. So kind of just simplifying um, how to gain more control of myself and find peace and happiness just in life in general, right? I think before I was trying to control too many things where you really can't. You have no, life throws at you what it will, and you've got to deal with that. So finding happiness within myself and inner peace will allow me to handle those things better, operating from a positive place, and finding solutions instead of fretting over what's happened that may or may not be good. And I think living through that will, like I said, allow me to accomplish my goals. So
Agreed.
I think this has helped me kind of understand that on another level.
Awesome. How's it going to live?
I think it's funny, you were just mentioning making declarations, and I actually read a book a long time ago called Think and Grow Rich. It's a really old book. It's by Napoleon Hill. It's from like the 1930s, and the point of the book is to attain what you want in life, and he's talking about finances. The way that they go about it is through the power of positive thought and declarations and identifying what you want and waking up every day. And we use the term meditation now, but back then that term didn't exist.
Mm-hmm.
But he actually talked about taking time in a quiet space to think about what you want every day and how you're going to achieve that. So the thought of making declarations on a daily basis has, again, already been with me, but I think I'm going to make the commitment to take even 5 minutes every day to organize my thoughts, center myself, identify who I want to be and what do I want to accomplish and what do I want to give to others in that day, and just stay on that. And I think just making the commitment to that 5 minutes every day will, again, facilitate greater rewards. So that's how it's going to live in my life. I'm going to commit to doing that every morning.
Sounds like you're in an awesome place. What was that book called? Sounds like I could read that and take some from it.
Yeah, it's called Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. It's a really cool read because this guy was a very successful, prominent businessman in the early 1900s, and he knew all of the wealthiest and most powerful men in America. And he was drawing from all their experiences and what brought them success. And what it all boils down to is their mentality. I mean, I won't give too much away, but it's a really cool read. And when you're reading a book that's that old, like I said, you can identify terminology we use now, like meditation and getting into a Zen place and operating from that state. And back then they just didn't they didn't have those terms, or they didn't use them, they weren't common. So he's verbalizing them in a different way, but you'll definitely make the connection as to what he's talking about. So yeah.
Thanks for sharing. I think I want to give you like Earl's kudos or a shout out. It's awesome because you're a tiny bit older than us, so it's like you've kind of been through this a little bit, and you've shared some very, very good insight, I think, which is going to help me, and it has helped me, and I think it can help the whole group as well.
Awesome.
So thank you very much for all of that.
I'm glad to hear that because it kind of sucks to be the old guy.
Well, you got all
this great where you're at, man, right?
Thanks, Derek.
Thank you.
Okay, I'll go.
Thanks, Brooke. Stepping up.
All right. Yeah,
How are you?
so after we did those interviews, obviously 2 weeks ago, it kind of, like, I kind of started seeing this in a different way, I guess, and kind of seeing myself and rethinking just kind of the process that we've been going through.
Yeah.
And it was just kind of really cool. So when it came to writing the vision, I feel like I still don't know the specifics, and I still don't really have like a complete idea of where I want to be and what I want for myself. So I ended up doing that ship in the night activity that was online, and just kind of starting with like all the constraints and beliefs that are like holding me back from being my best self and kind of getting to where I want to be. So it kind of, I created my vision kind of based off everything that I like where I am right now and like how I want to improve it essentially, or kind of change from that.
Yeah.
Um, right thing, but and it's not very like specific, but it's kind of just like, and I don't have an age or a timeline because it's something ideally that I feel like I've even just in the past few weeks started to work on. So ideally in the next few years it'd be awesome if I could have it all figured out, but I feel like it's just something that's going to take me some time.
Which is awesome. That's
Yeah.
the way that you wrote your vision this way, and this is going to be a living document hopefully for you, and it's constantly going to be evolving, and when you grow, you can grow your vision, so
Yeah.
it's good. It's good.
Awesome. So for my vision, I just kind of wrote it out. It's a little bit like in point form, but yeah, anyways. So my vision is I will be happy. I will surround myself by loved ones. I will be passionate about my career and content with where I am. I will love and respect the person I see in the mirror every day. I will have no regrets over the paths that I took that got me here today. I will ask for help when I'm overwhelmed. I will take life as it comes and stop worrying about the what ifs and be thankful for the what is. I'll forgive myself for my mistakes, and I will be in the best shape of my life and appreciate it. I will not hold back my words or emotions and not apologize for them. And I will allow myself to be vulnerable. And no longer will be avoiding my demons. Um, they kind of came from the last question, I guess, in the interviews that we talked about, or that we did the other week. Because a lot of people, what they're wishing for me in the next few years, it wasn't anything specific. It was just a lot of people were like, Brooke, I just want you to be happy. I want you to be able to just accept happiness essentially and just go with it wherever you are. Because what Derek was saying, like chasing certain things, that's 100% what I feel like I've been doing. And it's like, I got to a point where I didn't necessarily know what I was chasing. So it just got very frustrating. And so I think it's just kind of, I know that I want to be happy and I know that I want to enjoy what I'm doing and kind of just embrace the person that I am and all that stuff and kind of start from there.
I love this because I know when we spoke about our interview questions, you had major difficulties taking upgrades of how actually people you showed up for people. I think there was a lot of self-doubt in yourself, and you mentioned the demons and stuff. So I love this that you're going to focus on first you and making you in a better place and making sure you're happy, and then from there you can create this future of possibilities. But because you're never going to be able to kind of believe in that chosen future if you yourself is not believing in you. So
exactly.
I think that's perfect for you.
Awesome. Yeah. And just kind of like the living part of it, I guess I was thinking like even just in the past few weeks, like I've been really in tune with like things that are making me unhappy, and like I booked a trip home, which has like just alone has like put my emotions through the roof. Like it's crazy just knowing that there's a time where you can go and spend time with your family. And even with my relationship, like we've started having very like honest conversations that neither of us really want to have, but like they've been happening a lot more frequently and stuff. And it's just like there's still a long way to go, I'm sure. Like it doesn't ever stop, but it's just kind of that's really new for me because I've always been the kind of person like if something's bothering me, I'll either get over it or just kind of like push it aside somewhere. And like yeah, so it's been kind of cool, and I've just been asking for like new opportunities at work and even just talking to coworkers and like kind of making myself more relatable and letting myself kind of be vulnerable in those aspects of being like, yeah, I'm having a shitty day. Like this and this is like upsetting me lately, and like just talking about it and kind of allowing myself to like feel that and go through that has been like a really good step. So
Good
yeah.
for you. Excuse me. And this is going to be open to everyone, and I'm going to recommend it to everyone. So obviously the spring vision and goals sign up just went out, but there's going to be a fall one that starts, I think, in September. Brooke, for you for sure, I recommend that you get into that one. I think
Yeah.
you'll get so much more out of going through this program the second time. Hopefully you'll be just in this totally different place than you are now. And it sounds like you're well on your way and you're much more happier than you were, but I think you get a lot out of the program doing it second time.
Awesome. Yeah. Sounds good.
Are you happy?
Yes. Very.
Good. Yeah, you sound just even like your lens and your context has changed from this call to the last call. Just in the 2 weeks, you seem like a totally different person.
Yeah. Lots of reflection.
Good. Keep it up. How's all this going to continue to live so it doesn't come to a halt, you think?
I think just kind of being in tune with what makes me happy. I think the past few months I've kind of been going through the motions of this whole like growing up thing and forgot that like I'm happiest when I'm around my family. And moving out here was like an amazing decision, but it's something that I also kind of had to sacrifice other things. And so like recognizing that I can't go like however many months without seeing them. So kind of making the time to book those trips and just talking about it and being honest, like when I'm having a bad day, like talking to my boyfriend who probably understands more than anyone else out here.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas before it was like that fear of being like, oh, I'm going to upset him because I'm upset. So it's just like, I don't know, having those honest conversations. And once again, like what Derek was saying, taking that time to just kind of think and like be alone with myself sometimes and just really give it a chance to like absorb and really like live within me. So
Awesome. So awesome. I'm happy for you, Brooke. Thank you very much for sharing and opening up.
awesome.
Good luck. I just want to play the Pharrell song right now.
I can jump in.
Seems rather fitting.
The Pharrell.
Yeah. Derek, what's up, man?
How are you? I'm awesome. I'm just great. Yeah, it's fine. I'm just waiting. Some of my friends are just leaving me. I'm expressing myself in solitude here.
You booted them, eh?
Yeah, they came in the room and I just asked them if they wouldn't mind just vacating for 10-15 minutes while I do my talking. So they're gone. It's just me now. Yeah, it's weird. I was really focused in writing my vision and sharing it like my heart's going right now, right? There's just that nervousness. And I don't know why. Maybe it's excitement or it's just a strange emotion, but over the past 2 weeks being out, I've went out golfing, and golfing for me is awesome because you think about what you're doing, and it's also a time that I reflect on my life and what I enjoy, because it is something that I really enjoy doing, so it's just easy for me to think about other aspects of my life that I want and enjoy. And so this vision and goals was kind of at the forefront of it. And Derek, I just want to say I'm really glad you went first, because as I was loading up the call and stuff, I was wondering how your questions went with your dad. So I just think it's cool you went first, and how you articulated yourself about your vision I think it's really kicked it up for all of us, right? I think that's going to carry forward for us. So my vision that I wrote down is kind of like Brooke's. It's in the point form with personal health, career, and finance. So I'll just jump right into the personal. In the next year, I really want to develop myself as a leader, whether it's through workshops, books, life experience, and I just feel I need to learn how to get the best out of people, right? Just at work and in life, whether it's with family, relationships, and partners in the building. Because I feel when I get the best out of them, then I'm getting the best out of me too, because I'm pushing everybody to be better. So that's really going to be my focus, I think, for the next year personally. is just from a leadership standpoint. My goal is to help at least 6 people in work or life grow as leaders, gain confidence about themselves, and just be better, be their best self. My 5-year plan that I have is on a more personal level. It's family related. I want to have a more open and honest relationship with my brother, with my parents. I want to be a positive role model for my nephew, and I wrote in brackets like maybe coach a sports team or something. But I just really want to focus personally on my immediate family and growing together. Even though you've all moved away and stuff, and you get away from that. But I just want to kind of bring some focus back to to that aspect of my life. My 10-year personal thing is I want to be married. I want to have at least 2 kids. I want to accomplish this goal. If you guys remember me talking about a family cabin, I want to accomplish that goal with my family, and that's my 10-year plan. As far as health and just thinking what I want for me, and initially I just started thinking about my body. What do I want for my body? But I thought about my mind as well. And I just want to have a consistent, healthy diet and know what I'm putting in my body. I think I want to start running long distance. Running for me is like yoga. It's very meditative. It just brings me to a very relaxed state, kind of like golf. So I think I'm really gonna focus on getting into long distance running a bit more. Not so much doing marathons and stuff, but just committed to something like that. Let's see, my 5-year is to be more conscious of my hip. For those of you who don't know, I just have like arthritis in my hip and stuff, and I kind of just accept it. That's how it is. But I really want to be conscious of increasing the longevity of it, right? And not needing a replacement. So yeah, that's kind of just my 5-year for my body, and the 10-year is I don't want a hip replacement. I want to be mentally stronger than ever by continuing to visit my visions that I have. And Cody, like you were telling Brooke, I think it's a living thing that's just going to keep going forward. I'm going to review it. I'm going to, tweak it and make changes here and there. But I think the foundation for what I want is always going to be the same. So I just want to I put healthy as an ox, but a lean ox. Career and finance. In a year, talking with my brother is we have committed that we want to have a down payment for that property. And once we have our down payment ready, we want to go looking for, pieces of land in and around the Princeton area. So we've really started to focus on, how much we need and where we want to spend that money. Career and finance, I want to be ready for a GM position within a year. Doesn't necessarily mean I'm going to be a GM in a year. I just want to have the confidence that I'm ready, right? And I think by sharing that with people like Derek, who's been a huge help for me, with my GM now, just sharing where I'm at and where I want to go will really help them push me and keep checking in where I'm at and make sure that I'm on the right path for it. And I'd also like to get my real estate license as well. It's something that I committed to before I started working with Earls, and I really got focused on Earls after a couple months, but it's just something that's been weighing in the back of my mind, and to the point where I need to do that as well. So in the next year, that's just something I would like to accomplish and have on the resume. So for my 5-year, I want to have that plot of land purchased. I want development happening with my family. I want to be a strong and competent GM who's developed at least one other person to be a GM. Free of debt aside from a mortgage. For my 10-year, I want to have 2 properties purchased. I want to have multiple revenue streams from working in the restaurant. selling real estate. Yeah. So it's been a fun last 2 weeks, just really thinking about what I want, and I'm really glad that I took vision and goals, because I've always had ideas of what I wanted, and I remember hearing a line from a coach who said, "A goal without a plan is just a dream," and that really like sunk in with me. I've always had dreams, I've always had goals, but I've never set up plans for it, and this has really helped me put plans into place, verbalize them to people that I want to accomplish these with, and get them done, right? And hold each other accountable to it. It's been awesome.
Good, man. Good. Can I ask you to do a quick exercise with me?
Yeah.
Okay. So when you talked about long distance running, what you said was, and I want you to say it again, I think I want to start long distance running.
I will start long distance running.
Thank you. There's just that extra piece of confidence and that extra piece of actually going out and get it, instead of saying
Yeah.
I think I want to start long distance running. It's like, I will start long distance running. And like I said, it's going to take like conscious effort to learn how to kind of change your, I guess, wordage. But I think once you can, it'll really shape your confidence and your outlook and your lens. Yeah. Good though. I don't know if it's just me, but when he reads his goals, he seems like so like genuine and authentic, and like they actually like hit home with him. So it's like, to me, I believe those. You're definitely gonna, if you make sure you just create the critical pass, I think you'll achieve all those, no problem.
Thank you.
Because they actually like mean something, and they're authentic, and they're real goals for you.
Yeah.
Awesome. How is it sharing? Have you shared those yet with anyone?
Not until this morning, when me and my friends were just sitting out on a patio, just having lunch, and I was just reviewing the homework, and it said share this with 4 people or 3 people, and I was like, oh shit, I haven't done that. I'm like, hey guys, can I share my goals with you? And just completely caught them off guard, right? We're just, talking about going to the Canadians game on Friday and stuff, and I just came right out of left field and said, hey, let me talk about my personal goals in life. And they're all like, yeah. Good. It's that vulnerability that you're, sharing kind of your inner, aspirations and what you want out of life and stuff, right? It's not something that you normally just do when you're sitting around with your bros having a beer and, eating some food. But it's encouraging, right? It's encouraging when you share it with people who want that for you and want to help you accomplish them. And I think it made them feel good, and it had them thinking about what their vision was and what they want. So vulnerable at first, rewarding in the end. Yeah, it was cool.
And now you probably got an extra support system out of it as well. Like now that you shared, and that's going to be one of the pieces. That's going to be one of the big pieces to make, like, keeping yourself on track once this program is make sure you share your vision, share your goals with people who love you and know you very well. I bet you your buddies will check in with you now, and they'll now know what you want out of life, so they'll be able to support you.
Yeah, I hope so. Yeah.
Awesome, dude. Thank you very, very much.
You're welcome.
Yeah, I guess I can go next, guys.
Awesome. How are you?
Can everyone hear me? I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing very well. Yeah, I can hear you.
Good. Okay, good. Yeah, I'm having trouble hearing you guys. It keeps kind of cutting out. But anyways, I had a lot of fun writing my vision, actually. I guess that's because kind of up until this point in my life, everything has been pretty mapped out for me. It's like, okay, graduate high school, go to university. I always knew what university I was going to go to, then graduate university, and then I'm just like, oh gosh, what's next kind of thing. So this was a lot of fun. Like, it just kind of gave me like a chance to dream, I guess. I did mine in point form too. It was just kind of like the easiest way for me to lay it out and have it all organized. But I guess I would like to kind of form it all into like a declaration kind of at the end, similar to what Derek did. That was really well articulated, really good. Yeah, so I guess just for my personal goals, kind of thinking short term in the first year. Excuse me, I'm a little sick. I just want to have more confidence in myself and everything that I do, especially after reading kind of the interview questions. People see me in a different way that I see myself. They see me as a confident person, and sometimes I don't really feel like that. So I guess I just need to keep reminding myself, why not you? Like, why don't you deserve these things that everyone tells you to deserve? Like, you deserve nothing but happiness, kind of thing. I also want to make sure I'm practicing more gratitude just for my life and my circumstances. It's easy sometimes to kind of feel like, oh, woe is me, why me, that kind of thing. But my roommate and I had a really cool conversation when I was kind of sharing these goals with her. And yeah, we're just like, you know what, we have absolutely nothing to complain about. We both have great jobs. We're happy in our jobs. We have awesome relationships in our lives. We live in a great spot. Like, we have it a lot better than most people. And I think we just need to keep, or I just need to keep reminding myself that my life is not bad and I have a lot to look forward to, and it's been really cool. Another one, I want to have only positive relationships in my life, especially since moving here, moving different provinces. It was kind of, you kind of weed out the bad, I guess. So everyone from home, like, it's been really cool to see like the people that I've kept in touch with, and those relationships are only the good relationships. Like, for instance, I have friends from back home that I've been friends with for my whole life, basically, and I think you kind of feel like you need to hang on to these relationships just because of how long they've been in your life for, but they might not necessarily be, I guess, the best people to have around for you. So yeah, just only having positive relationships in my life is my personal goal for the next year. I also want to start begin volunteering more of my time. It was something I used to do a lot of when I was in school and really made me happy. It was a nice kind of break from life, and I like being able to serve other people, like making other people happy. Sometimes I focus on making other people happy more so than myself, so maybe I should work on that too. But yeah, just definitely getting involved in my new community that I live in, and yeah, start volunteering more of my time. And for the next 5 years, I want to have traveled and experienced more of the world. Right now it's kind of, you know, like finances are tight, paying back student loans and that kind of thing, but I just want to start spending more of my money on experiences rather than things. I would also love to take my mom on a trip. This kind of goes back to showing gratitude, I guess. My mom, she's done so much for me, and I just don't know if she knows how much I appreciate her, so I would love to be able to do that for her. And in 10 years, I will have begun starting my family and have many people in my life that I cherish. I'll be in a loving and committed relationship, and I want to have a dog, a beautiful home, and a property on the ocean. I don't know where I'll end up living per se, but I would love to have just kind of some property back on the East Coast on the ocean, whether it's like a summer home or what. I would love that. Would be awesome. Let's see what else. Yeah, for health goals in the next 5 years, I was the same as you. I was kind of thinking like physical health at first, but then I started thinking more mental health as well. So I kind of have realized over the last couple weeks that at the end of the day, when I'm laying in bed and I just have like all these thoughts running through my mind of like how the day went, that kind of thing, I've found like journaling and just getting everything out on paper really, really helps. So I'm going to start doing that every night before I go to bed. And I used to practice yoga a lot. It seems like everything that I used to do while I was in school has kind of got put aside sort of where I'm now working full time and everything. So I just want to get back into those habits that I created for myself. I also just want to be more mindful of the choices I make for my body. Just, you know, maybe I don't need to be going out drinking 2 nights a week, that kind of thing. Just being more mindful of that and seeing where I'm above and below the line, those kind of things. That's all I have for short term for health goals. For career and finance goals, this one's kind of was tough for me. It's been hard for me to think of. I'm starting now to think of Earls as more of a career now. When I first graduated from school, I'm like, what am I going to go to school for next? Like, what am I going to do? But now I'm just like, you know what, Ali, you're happy at Earls. Like, there's great potential for a career here. So I would love, I'm pretty proud of myself. I've moved up pretty quickly, it seems. So I would love to become leader 1 within the next year. That would make me really happy. And earlier, when I first started at Earls, one of my goals was being placed on the salary team. So that will be happening at the end of this month, which I'm very excited about. I can say I achieved that goal. For the long term, I would like to be self-employed. I don't really know what that means for me, but I've never wanted to have a boss, I guess. So I think it'd be really cool to be self-employed. And like you said, Derek, I would love to be able to help my parents out in some way. Again, like you said, it's not necessarily something I feel like I have to do, but it would just be something awesome. I would really love to do that. And no matter what my career is, I just want it to be fulfilling and exciting. Like I see my mom, she goes to work every day, and absolutely care what I do. As long as I have that, that'll make me really happy. And also for my career goals, I guess you could say in the next 10 years, it would be awesome to be a full-time mom. One thing I know that I've always wanted is kids and lots of kids. So I would just love to spend the rest of my days raising kids.
You could see that
Yeah.
that's something where when you started talking about that, you just went to an instant grin and a smile.
Yeah.
Lots of awesome short-term goals too. That's all about like making you happy and focusing on you. Something that I'd like to see you do is put dates to those goals. Because it was like you want to go, you want to start volunteering again, you want to start doing yoga again, you want to start, you want to go on a trip in the next year. So it's like I'd make like critical path steps and I'd put dates on those. So it's like you're gonna hold yourself accountable. It's all about you in those goals, which is awesome, which I think you should focus on. But you don't want that year to pass and you get that leader 1 salary and all of a sudden you get busy and stuff doesn't happen. So something that I'd recommend is put some plans for actual plans to make those happen.
Definitely, I think that's a good idea. I have like this day planner and I write literally everything down that I have to get done. If I don't write it down, it like doesn't get done. So maybe in my day planner, I'll just like kind of write dates for a certain year or something. That way it's there, I can see it, and it'll be a constant reminder.
Love it. How'd you like the program?
I really liked it. It was difficult for me at first, kind of, because I don't like to talk about myself at all. I don't like to talk about my feelings or my problems, that kind of thing. And I'm very fortunate I have one person in my life, I guess you could call her like a mentor, like a second mother figure since I moved here. And she's kind of the one person that I've always felt like completely comfortable like disclosing everything to. So her and I had a conversation before I began this, and she was just like, just pretend they're me. Just pretend they're me. It's fine. But yeah, at first it was a little awkward and that kind of thing, but I thought I actually got some good value out of it. For the last 8 weeks, the program's always been in the back of my mind, just kind of day-to-day choices and that kind of thing. Yeah, so it's been really cool, actually.
Very awesome. Glad to hear you enjoyed it.
Thanks.
Awesome. Thanks for sharing.
Of course.
I don't mind going next.
Awesome. Save Nat for last, eh?
I can see you're going for the mic the whole time.
Yeah.
So I've really found this has been super helpful. I, kind of similar to Ali, have always felt like everything's mapped out. Like I don't allow myself to think of what I could do or what I want to do. I always just think of moving from one thing to the next. So this really helped me just kind of focus on what I want for myself and what I want out of my life. And I was kind of surprised by what I was thinking. Like I never thought that my time at Earls would turn into like a career, and I really wanted to. And over the past couple weeks, I've been thinking like I really do want to be part of the salary leadership team as well, and I actually want Roy's job. Like I would like to be a regional one day. I think that would be awesome, and I feel just like I think the biggest thing that kind of helped me see all this stuff and put it into perspective is thinking about moving out to Edmonton. It was just like, okay, I really need to focus on what I want and moving for the right reasons and making sure that I'm happy. And this kind of tied in perfectly with it. And I realized my strengths and my weaknesses and kind of analyzed that kind of stuff more. And as good of a server and like all that kind of stuff as I feel like I feel like I am good at noticing fine details and like picking out things that people are doing well, things that they need to improve on, and I feel like I just have a better holistic picture. than I do of like maybe just focusing on one guest at a time kind of thing. And I feel like that's more my strength. So that's kind of how I focused on the vision is like, okay, say I'm a GM in 10 years, like, or I'm an RM in 10 years. What do I want to see for myself? And I really want to make sure that I continue to be a genuine person and that I stay positive and I surround myself with the people that I enjoy being around and in an area that I enjoy being in, like Vancouver. Like, I love it here. But I also want to make sure that I continue to support and develop leaders. Like, kind of like Jeremy was saying, I should put a set number to it. Like, I don't know, maybe 5 to 10 people that I influence. I would really like to make sure that I'm continuing to give back to a company and a culture that has helped me grow so much. And I want to inspire other people to feel the same way that I do and like that want to be at work the same way I do. And it frustrates me sometimes because I can see that other people don't buy in as much as me, and I want to start encouraging people to buy in more and to just develop themselves and realize how much their leadership team is there to help them and help them grow and let them like support them and let them go through these journeys like you have for us. I also want to make sure that I have a better work-life balance because I think I'm really bad at that right now. I work so much and I don't usually leave time for like yoga or running, which I love both of those things. And in thinking about this yesterday, I actually went and bought a new pair of running capris so I can go for a run today. I'm really excited
Nice.
because I want to do an 8K in about 3 months, get that going, and then maybe in a year I can do a half marathon. So I want to start balancing out that better, and it also gives me a chance to be with my boyfriend. Like, he loves running, and it'll give us something that we both love to do, and we can do it together. And it'll be kind of that balance that I need, like to spend time with him doing something he really loves and that I enjoy, and just like being together and balancing it out. I kind of did my goals as like 3 months, 6 months, and a year, like we did in 90-day planners.
Yeah.
So I really want to, in the next 3 months, try to get on salary. In the next 6 months, I want to do a half marathon, like I mentioned. In a year, I would actually like to help open a new store, see if I can get involved in training and go somewhere else and help them train front of house. I think that'd be really cool. And hopefully make a down payment on a house as well. I think that would be awesome. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Awesome. So awesome. I had a smile on the whole listening to you speak because you're so passionate about it and you're passionate about helping people and helping them grow.
Yeah, I'm excited.
One thing that I know of you is, and I'm going to request of you right now, is I want you to share these goals and kind of your vision with as many people as possible. You shared it now with Derek and Jeremy, but go share it with share it with Roy, share it with Steve, share it with your boyfriend, share it with all your friends. So I think you're usually kind of more of a reserved person who kind of put others ahead of you. And I think for this next year, for you to accomplish all this, which I think is totally attainable, I think you need to kind of step up and self possible in some of these situations. So I want you to share it as with many people as possible.
Okay, I can do that.
Awesome.
Cool.
Excited?
I am. I'm really excited.
Are you guys gonna move to Edmonton? What happened with that?
No, we're gonna stay.
Yeah?
Yeah. I've been talking with Chris for the last like couple weeks, and I don't know. I feel like I would be really stupid to move somewhere else and maybe not have the same opportunities. So, I think it's definitely more of a benefit for me to stay. And in talking it through with my boyfriend, like he actually got offered a job yesterday, which we suspected might happen. He used to work at a lab at UBC, and they invited him to come back and have offered him the lab manager position he wanted a couple of years ago. So it actually worked out better here because there's more set goals that we can attain here instead of going into something that's like completely unknown that we both kind of would have to figure out as we go. So
awesome.
Yeah.
Do you obviously shared this with your boyfriend?
Yes, yeah. We had a long talk about it on Sunday.
Great. You guys should write one together too.
Yeah, I was asking him if we could because I think that would help a lot. Just be on the same page and like be clear on what we want for our relationship and for like how we want to go further. So
yeah, because it sounds like you guys are like there ready to take like next step and continue growing together. So I think doing that would be so beneficial for the two of you. Awesome. Killed it.
Thanks.
Snaps.
All right, I will go.
Oh, thanks.
First off, I just want to say something to Laura Lee. I just want to congratulate you because I've never actually, like, it was really refreshing to hear you speak so confidently, especially about leadership at Earls. When I went to Earls North Van, like, you are easily one of the people that made me feel the most comfortable there, and you are such a good leader and you do have such a passion for the business, but I sometimes feel like you're almost too humble in that, and that you should take more ownership of the fact that you are doing a great job. So I just wanted to congratulate you because you did speak very well.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, so I'll start with my vision. So around this, I actually really struggled with this just because it's kind of like, you know, like how long should a vision be? Like what should it include? And when I was doing a lot of research, it came back to like business visions and sort of what they represent, because I kept relating it to Earl's vision, and I was like, that's a short vision. Like, should mine be that short? And like I read this thing online that said like a good vision should be 26 words or less. And I was like, no, like I can't articulate anything in my life in 26 words. Like, how am I going to articulate a vision? So I kind of dropped that, and then I wrote something that like I would want to live by, and something like I took from the I Will You video what they said about painting a picture of your life in that time. So I did it 10 years down the road. So my vision for age 33 is to be healthy both physically and mentally. I will be in a job that I am passionate about and that constantly challenges me and gives me the freedom to design my own schedule. I will own my own property in the Lower Mainland that I can take pride in making a home. I am well traveled and have engulfed myself in everywhere I've been and all the cultures I've seen. I have adopted a set of spiritual values that fit my beliefs. I am surrounded by people who love and support me, people that respect my voice and opinion. I have a dog that hikes and explores this beautiful province with me. I am attentive and aware of my choices and decisions. I am journaling every day to keep my mind clear. I will leave the negativity and regret of my past behind, but take the lesson. I am truly in love with my perfect companion, someone who is the best extension of me, enjoying them and laughing with them. Overall, I am living a full, purposeful life filled with all the happiness in the world. So I wrote it out like that so that it was sort of something that I could live by. Obviously, it's a bit longer than 26 words, granted, but I struggled with it, and I felt I hit all the points, and I called my best friend this morning, and I was like, I'm going to read you this. Let me know what you think. And she's like, dude, like, kids. You didn't mention anything about kids. Like, you want kids. You want to be a mom, and I do want those things. I do want to be a mom, but I feel like it's hard to predict how that's going to happen and when that's going to happen. And I felt like this was more defining me and like the kind of criteria that I have for myself at this given moment. But like anything else, it will change. And for my goals, I said for 1 year to have gone to Europe, to start journaling again, and to be in the best shape of my life. 5 years, I will have a dog, have expanded my circle of friends, and be on the path, on my career path. And then 10 years to own my own property and to be established. So there's a quote that I, like Jeremy, will refer back to, but one thing that I've always said to myself and my parents always said to us growing up is success is preparedness meeting opportunity. So I think this vision, if it does nothing else, it just kind of helps to set me up and get myself prepared for the opportunities that are going to come my way in the next 10 years. So yeah.
How do you feel? Because I know like where kind of you're at right now. It's you want to move. You're trying to figure out what you want to do for work and stuff like that, and what field you want to get into. How do you feel? How did it help? Are you still uncertain?
It definitely helped. It kind of shined some light on the fact that I want all of these things, but to actually kind of prioritize and say, like, okay, what needs to come first and like what is going to be most important, that's what I got out of this. Because in relationships in the past and even with friendships or family, I've always kind of expected more or wanted more and like wanted to plan this future, but I didn't even know, like I wasn't even certain of a future that I wanted to plan for myself. So to actually be able to plan it for me and not associate that or attach it with somebody else, that part was really like liberating. Because now, like, yes, in my vision there's somebody there, but it doesn't necessarily need to be the vision.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So I think it was good. Like I did get a lot out of it, and I'm going to reevaluate it like every 6 months probably and update it and change it and tweak it. But that's kind of overall. 10 years is like, I mean, this is a pivotal point in my life. So like 23 to 33, like those 10 years, like a lot could happen. So, but I think like overall it's where I want to see it go.
How's the next, say, 2 months you think is gonna be different?
The next 2 months, I want to be removed from Coquitlam. Like, I'd love to be downtown or closer to downtown. I kind of did it backwards, and I started working further. What's that?
Cut you off. You will, if you want it to happen, you will be removed.
Yes.
Don't say you won't.
I will be removed from Coquitlam.
I think you've probably been saying I want to be removed from Coquitlam for what? How long now? 6 months? 8 months?
Yeah.
So make sure you put an affirmative. I will.
Okay. Yeah, and like that's kind of the priority now before summer hits, just because, yeah, like I'm doing everything else downtown. I'm working downtown and in the North Shore, so it's kind of like there's not much keeping me out here, and I think your life starts at the end of your comfort zone, and like, yeah, it's going to be a rebuilding phase, but I moved out here from Edmonton knowing no one, and I managed to make that work for the last 3 years, so I'm like, I'm okay knowing that I could do it again. So, yeah.
Awesome. Good. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you. So that's kind of it for the call. There's a couple things that I just want to kind of just maybe pointers or just tips or whatever you want to kind of make sure this work continues on. The biggest thing is just make sure you accept like total responsibility for everything that happens in your life. It's your life, you're creating it, your future. Accept everything and own everything that happens for it, and then you'll truly be able to kind of make the choices and dictate where you want to go. Like we've all kind of said, and I've asked you, is just make sure you revisit your goals often. And these can constantly be evolving and revising. So if you accomplish one of your 1 year goals in the next 2 months, say moving downtown for Natalie, rewrite another 1 year goal. Constantly be setting new targets, new goals, something for you to strive for. For you guys, I'd continue to check in, share with your friends, share with people you love, share with your family. The more people that know about your visions and more people that know about your goals that love you, they're going to be there to support you. They're going to hold you accountable. They're going to check in. And then a big thing too, which has helped for me and I know helps for others, just try to create visual reminders. If you can wake up and see something that reminds you of this created future, this desired future that you want out of life, and you look at it every morning when you get out of bed or whatever it may be, it's just going to be motivation every single morning for you to go out and be the best you. And kind of like as Derek said, take 5 minutes every morning and create a purpose for that day. What are you going to accomplish this day? How is today going to be different than tomorrow? There's only so many days in our lives, and we don't want to be wasting those days. So, like, I love how he said, take 5 every morning, create a purpose, and create a context for that day and what you're going to accomplish and who you're going to impact and how you're going to impact and whatever it may be. But as always, I want to be here for you. So if you ever need anything, want to reach out, email, call, I'm here. I want to hear about if you accomplish goals, whatever that looks like. I'm teaching this again in, it starts, I think, May 10th for me. So if you guys wanted to jump on it right away, again, you could. Otherwise, I'll be teaching again in the fall, and I'd love for you guys to join. And there's always going to be room, I think, for this program because we got so many coaches teaching it. And I think it's amazing program. So I want to thank the 6 of you. You guys were always on time. Pre-work was done. You were with integrity. So thank you, thank you. I think it's been awesome, and I hope you guys got something out of it and really helps change your life for the better. So.
Thank you, Cody.
Yeah, my pleasure. Honestly, it was.
Hey, thanks to everybody for taking part in this. It's awesome. I really appreciate everyone contributing, and thank you to you again, Cody, like for leading this and whatnot. It's been awesome. I'm really thankful that I have this opportunity. So.
I love it. Good. Hey guys, thank you.
Okay.
Thanks so much.
Go.
Thank you.
Bye guys.
Bye.
Bye-bye.